If you already got one offer or you've already lined up one offer, that is what's up. And like I said, I love that for you, bro or sis, but I want you to keep that same energy and get a second offer. Because if you take that very first one, then you'll never know if the second one can be better. Welcome to the official Thompson Resume Writing Company YouTube channel, where I share weekly tips and hints on how to update, refresh, and/or prepare your resume and LinkedIn profile for your job search, along with some job search tips, some career advice, and some personal stories of my own. I am Tamika Thompson. I am the owner and resume writer at Thompson Resume Writing Company, and I specialize in transforming bland, lackluster resumes and LinkedIn profiles into powerful selling tools that help corporate mid-level, management, and executive professionals land interviews 2 times faster. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and I hope that you enjoyed this video enough to go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. If you are a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, you are appreciated. Thank you so much for always showing my content some love. Now, for today's video, I am going to be sharing 5 common job search mistakes that job seekers make that can cause them to accept a way lower salary than they deserve and cause them to be job searching for up to a year or longer. And who has time for that? Let's get right into it. Job searching can be a lot of things. It can be exciting, but it can also be frustrating, stressful, anxiety inducing, discouraging, a rush, all of that and then some. And as someone who just recently wrapped up a pretty grueling 2-month-long job search, I completely understand. But the way that you job search and the mistakes that you may make can cause your job search to take longer. It can also cause you to accept a lower offer than you deserve when you can and have the opportunity to get a higher offer. And it can cause you to take the wrong job just because it's the offer that you received and you just took the job for the heck of it. And because this happened to me in the past, that is why I am creating this video, because I do not want that for you or anyone. So with that being said, here are several job search mistakes that I see job seekers make all the time and that I want you to avoid so that you are able to land the best offer for you at the salary that you're looking for and potentially have your pick from several different offers on the table and be able to choose the one that is right for you. Let's get into it. Number 1 is accepting the first offer that you get. Now, congratulations. I'm so happy that you landed an offer. I'm happy that you went on the interview and you made it through the process and you have that email or that piece of paper sent to you. That is exciting. That is wonderful. That is awesome. And I love that for you. But if it is the first offer that you are getting as part of your job search, I am urging you to not be so eager to take it just yet. And here's why. And it sounds crazy, but let me explain because I'm going somewhere with this. So when you accept the very first offer, and typically if you don't negotiate, well, that means that you don't have the opportunity to aim higher or get better. People who tend to accept the very first job offer that they get do so for a couple of reasons. So the first one being is that they are tired of interviewing. And I get it. By the time you go through maybe 2 or 3 interviewing processes with maybe a couple of different companies, chances are you've gone on maybe upwards of 6 to 10 interviews, and that can be exhausting and emotionally taxing. The second reason is that they are super anxious to leave their current job. So maybe their job is toxic, they don't like their boss, they're really close to rage quitting, and they are just over it. And so they take that first offer because they just want to get up out of their current job right now. The third reason is because they think that they are not going to get anything else. So maybe in their mind, they feel as though this is the best that they can do. This is the only offer that's going to come through and that they don't deserve anything else. So they go ahead and take it, sometimes out of fear and then sometimes out of lack of confidence or self-esteem. And the fourth common reason why people tend to take the very first offer is for financial reasons. So maybe you've been out of work for quite some time. You've been unemployed for a while. Your unemployment is running low. I too have been there where it's like the bills are coming due, the savings are running low, or something is about to run out money-wise, and you need a job quick because you need that paycheck to keep yourself and your family above water. Only circumstance or situation where it's okay for you to accept or take the very first offer that you get is if this is the job that you really, really wanted. Don't take it just because they gave you an offer and if you're not really 100% passionate about it. But if you made your job search list and you wrote down the companies that you want to work for and the jobs that you want to go for. If it hits a number of things on that list, then great, go ahead and take that job. But if you're taking it for one of the reasons that I just listed, or if you're just taking it for the heck of it, please don't do it because you may regret it in the long run. Ideally, you should have multiple job offers to choose from on the table, and you should be able to have your pick of the one that is the best fit for you. Now, in a previous video that I shared to my channel a couple of weeks ago, I opened up about my 2021 career lows and highs, and I talked about how I created a tactical and intentional job search strategy to ultimately land or line up 3 different offers, and I was able to pick the one that I wanted the most, which is my current dream job. Number 2 is only lining up just one offer. So piggybacking off of number 1 just a little bit, you should have at least, at minimum, 2 offers on the table to choose from and be able to choose which one is going to be the better fit based off of the factors that matter most to you. Now, that can be salary, that can be benefits, that can be company culture, it can be whatever you deem important. If you already got one offer or you've already lined up one offer, that is what's up. And like I said, I love that for you, bro or sis, but I want you to keep that same energy and get a second offer. Because if you take that very first one, then you'll never know if the second one can be better, if it may be a higher salary, if the benefits are better, if the perks are better, or even better, if you can negotiate something that's maybe in the second offer in that first offer, or in whichever one that you want the best that may be lacking in some area. And again, people think that having multiple offers to choose from is something that can't happen or something that happens in a perfect world. And that is not the case. It really just boils down again to having a solid job search strategy. And I highly recommend checking out the video that I recorded on this titled How to Create an Intentional and Tactical Job Search Strategy to Land Multiple Interviews and Offer. Who doesn't want their pick of a job? What's Sweetie say? I know that's right. Number 3 is not being consistent. I cannot stand that one job seeker that applies to one job and then stops for 2 weeks and then applies to another job and then stops for 4 weeks and then applies to one job and then they don't apply to anything else until 2 months later. Stop doing that. Please don't be that job seeker. I've said it before and I will say it again. Consistency is the key to any successful job search. You cannot base your job search based off of how you feel that day. So maybe you just received a rejection email and now you're sad and you're discouraged and you're kind of down in the dumps. Feel those emotions and feel those feelings, but get the up and keep going, because if you stop, you're not going to get to that offer. You cannot let your emotions overtake your job search process because you will lose. The first thing that you should do before you officially begin your job search is to set, make, and or create a schedule that you can realistically keep up with. It should be insistent and it should be consistent, and you should keep that schedule going until you get an offer signed, sealed, and delivered. And I did make another video on this as well that I would like for you to check out. And make sure that you are holding yourself accountable along the way. Next on the list is stopping applying after only one interview. Now, I see this all the time, right? So you apply to a couple of jobs, you finally go ahead and get an interview, you're super excited, and you are banking on getting just this one job. So you don't apply to anything else because you just know that you are going to get this job. Spoiler alert, just because you got the interview does not mean that you are going to get the job. And even still, there are things that can happen during the hiring process or the interview process on the back end that you have no control over, such as they can eliminate the role altogether, which means that they feel like the position is no longer needed. And if and when that happens, you'll definitely get an email letting you know. The second thing that can happen is that they can put the position on hold, which means that they will halt interviewing and reviewing applications and accepting applications altogether for the foreseeable future or until they set some sort of a date. And then, of course, last but not least, is that they can always go with someone else. And either of those things can happen, sometimes a couple of weeks or days into the interviewing process. Sometimes they can happen up to a month or longer into the process. And now you've abandoned your job search. You haven't applied to any other positions because you were banking on this role. And then that's maybe 4 to 8 weeks that have gone by and you've stopped applying. I want to share something with you guys that my mom taught me very early on in my career, and that is to not bank on any one job to come through until you have an offer letter in your inbox, and sometimes even still until you start on the day that they say you are going to start. You keep interviewing, okay? You keep going, you keep applying, you keep putting yourself out there, because there is no guarantee that any job is going to come through. And that's on period. The final thing on this list is quitting after a couple of rejection emails. I know that rejection sucks, but it is not the end of the world. Too often I see people let those uptight, raggedy rejection emails get them all discouraged and get them down on themselves to the point where they stop applying and they don't want to submit any application anymore because they are just so distraught. Listen, if you are not the right person for that company, then you are the right one for another one. And ultimately, that rejection just gets you closer to the offer that you are going to be getting. I like to tell people is that rejection just gets you closer and closer to the offer or offers that are meant for you. So process your emotions after you get the rejection email. I know if you really wanted the job, sometimes it can be really devastating and you can get sad, but by all means, keep applying and keep going and have faith and believe that that offer is coming around or coming towards you soon. And please know that one no does not stop no show. So those are 5 common job search mistakes that I do not want you to make. Go ahead and comment below if you have made any of these mistakes in the past, or if maybe you made one of these mistakes recently if you are currently looking for a job. If you enjoyed watching this video, go ahead and hit the like button below. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate you watching, especially if you made it to the end of this video. If you need assistance with your resume for your job search, I am accepting clients. You can contact me directly via email at hello@thompsonresumes.com, or you can visit my website at www.thompsonresumes.com to view my pricing and officially start the process with working with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with another helpful video. Bye, you guys.